thank you, President Song, for making time so late in the evening there, or early in the morning there. From your perspective, from your party's perspective, is there an opening right now to re-engage on diplomacy with North Korea? And if so, what should the United States and the Biden administration do?
Thank you. After 2017, North Korea now stopping the further provocation of the long-range missile test and nuclear test. And 4 years, no skirmish. But South Korea and the United States not compensation, any return, any kind of the humanitarian aid, including, is problem. It's not lasting. If we leave this situation, my humble opinion, North Korea and preparing the further provocation, for example, the launching SLBM and the long-range test. It's a big problem in the United States, the security. So we should fix this problem. I think that North Korea can become the second Vietnam. Vietnam is 10 years war situation in the United States, Korea, but 1995, normalization of diplomatic relations with the Vietnam and the United States. The Vietnam is now de facto the military ally of the United States and deterred the expanding the China power in the southern area. Like this, North Korea can become the second Vietnam and the pro-American country.
Thank you. President Song, do you believe that the Biden administration should do more to convince North Korea to come back to the negotiating table? Do you believe the United States should put more concessions on the table, humanitarian aid, economic aid, sanctions relief, in order to jumpstart these negotiations?
Yes, as you know, North Korea now facing three kind of challenges. Number one is through owing to COVID-19, they are blocking the lockdown at the borderline of China. Is more kind of the trade is stopping. It's going to be problem. Second is through periodically they repeated natural disaster, flood and drought, and it's caused big problem. And the third is the strong economic sanction. Like the third wave is now simultaneously to imposing North Korea. North Korea is dying and very the difficult situation. Should provide some security. According to the economic sanction of the resolution of United Nations 2397, the purpose of the intention of this economic sanction resolution is not to intend the adverse consequence of the lives of the ordinary people of North Korea. So I should provide more extended. We should exemption.
President Song, recently, Kim Yo-jong, the sister of Kim Jong-un, said that South Korea should cancel or at least reduce its upcoming military drills with the United States. Do you think that's a good idea? And if not, is there a chance that this new opening for diplomacy could end before it can truly begin?
As you know, nowadays about 5 times they exchange letters from Kim Jong-un and the President Moon Jae-in. There's friendly letters they can trust, and finally they reopening communication line hotline between North and South Korea. But recently, Kim Yo-jong is strong the warning to stopping the military joint exercise. But my humble opinion, we cannot, we should going on, because it's not the invading the scenario is not just we are protecting our country and so not the peace, to keep the peace, and we are defense the readiness. So we should persuade North Korea. We have no intention. It's to like the building trust is very important. So reason why I suggest to reopening Kaesong Industrial Complex is very strong. The momentum they are invite the negotiation table at the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
Thank you. President Song, let me ask you about South Korean politics. You have a presidential election coming up next year, and maybe that means that the Moon administration is in a rush, has to show some progress with North Korea. But in Washington, it doesn't seem like the Biden administration is in a rush. So, how do you view that difference between the Moon administration and the Biden administration in terms of urgency and speed?
Yes, it's a good question. But I think the Biden administration is also same problem. It's the next year in November, and the midterm election is coming. So Biden has no approach, no enough time to Biden have some needs the diplomatic achievement. Biden administration recently withdrew from Afghanistan American troops. It's caused a big problem, I think. The Taliban is occupied all the Afghanistan mainland is covered. It's caused a big problem. But I think where's which President Biden is some propaganda achievement of diplomacy. It's North Korea is very good, I think.